talk about the issue of money in politics and the debate over whether American democracy is for sale. In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court eliminated limits on how much money individuals can donate in any 2-year election cycle. A separate limit on how much can be donated to a single candidate remains in place. To debate the ramifications of the ruling, I'm joined by the man who won that case, Alabama businessman Sean McCutcheon, and Robert Weissman, president of the consumer advocacy group Public Citizen, which argues for additional campaign finance limits. Welcome to both of you. Certainly a fascinating issue. So here's my thing, Mr. McCutcheon. As you look at this, here's a new reality, right? American democracy for sale. How do you have candidates in the future now going to the wealthiest donors in the country and saying, I want an unlimited amount of money? How does that not at some point lead to corruption?
Well, again, I think this is an issue about independent, private people exercising free speech, and regardless of economic status, all Americans are entitled to free speech. So this is a First Amendment guaranteed right under the Constitution. All Americans are entitled to free speech.
And the Supreme Court agreed with you in a 5-4 decision and has upheld that. But if you sit back as a citizen and say, I want to be politically involved, and if I'm a person of great means, and I've got all these candidates coming saying, hey, I want an unlimited amount of money, do you not worry that that leads to corruption at some point?
Well, I am a citizen, and I'm interested in being involved in the process. So I'm interested in change for the better. That's what motivated me to support candidates. And again, it's about your right to support as many candidates, committees, and PACs as you choose. It's a political activity. It's like Robert said, it's the most fundamental right in this country, is our right as the people to select our leaders.
So here's what Justice Stephen Breyer wrote in a dissenting opinion. In part, he writes this: what has this to do with corruption? It has everything to do with corruption. Where enough money calls the tune, the general public will not be heard, Robert Weissman. So Sean McCutcheon, as an individual, may have his free speech being honored here, but is he really going to count as much as the wealthy, the super wealthy, in trying to influence elections?
Well, what the court decided was that individuals have the right, a First Amendment right, to give up to $5.9 million to candidates, parties, and political committees. There are only a few hundred people in this country who have the wherewithal to do that and have shown the inclination to do it. They're going to do it, and they're going to expect something back in return. And exactly as Justice Breyer said, what that means is those people have this stranglehold over how the process works, and everybody else is left out of the game.